Hey all, and happy February the 8th. Today is the flow portion of the barn flow from today. So if you did the barn portion, you'll see some of it reflected in the flow. If not, it's a great quick flow for you to start or end your day. So today all you need is a block, and let's get started in child's pose. Allow yourself to settle in and get connected to your breath, whether you came from the barre portion of the practice or something else that is filling your day. Give yourself to this stillness for a few breaths. Begin to slowly shift up to hands and knees, curl your toes, and move through a few rounds of cat and cow, allowing your spine to curl and your heart to open. And take this as gently as it needs to be. It doesn't have to be the strongest cat-cow. You can keep it super slow and sweet and gentle. Come into a neutral spine and glide the right toes back and press into the ball and the toes of that foot. Stretch back into your heel and wake up the sole of your foot. And begin to glide those toes over to the left. Take a little peek over your left shoulder and broaden through your right ribs, your right armpit, your right shoulder. Make a nice little C curve there. Bring your toes back to center, pick up your right leg, curl your knee in towards your nose or navel. Inhale and extend out. 2 more times. Exhale, curl. Inhale, extend. Exhale to curl. And inhale, extend. Curl in and step through to your low lunge. You can grab that block and bring it in. And we'll settle in for a few moments. Taking a moment to open the hips and hip flexors on the left side. Allow yourself to shift back towards your left heel and forward into a bend of the right knee, coming into Hanuman and lunge. Half Hanuman and lunge. If you want to rock a full Hanuman today, you do that. You slide that leg forward and go into full splits. Bend into your right knee one more time. Lift that back knee, coming to high lunge. Set your block forward so it's not in your way. Bring your hands to your heart. So from here, from this thunderbolt lunge, we'll step this back foot in to tap the right heel and back out again to a long lunge. So bend into your left knee, come in, tap the heel, and step back. 2 more times, tap the heel, and step back. 1 more time, tap your heel, step back, and this time feet parallel, come up to chair pose. Reach your arms forward and your hips back. With your inhale, lift your palms and your heart, and with your exhale, sweep back. Inhale, rise. Exhale, back. 1 more time. Inhale, rise. And exhale, fold. Shake it out. Keep those knees super soft. Step back table, and we'll move to the other side. Extend back into the ball of the left foot and find some movement there. So pushing into the toes and back into your heel. Float on your breath. Ooh, good ankle pop. And then take your toes over to the right. Take a peek over your right shoulder. Breathe through that whole left side. Again, creating that nice little C curve from your shoulder to your hip. Glide those left toes to center. Lift your left leg, curl in, knee to navel or nose. Extend it back. Curl it in. And extend back. One last time, curl it in. And extend back. Curl in and step through. Low lunge, grabbing the block underneath your right hand. You can pick up that right knee and make some space. And we'll hold right here for a few breaths. Again, finding an opening in the right hip flexor, front of the right hip. Quads, left hip. Whoo, settle in. Feels good. Begin to shift your hips back over your right heel and pop the left toes up, floating between low lunge and half Hanuman. Again, if you like a full split, you're more than welcome to slide that left foot forward and float into a full split if that's in your practice. Otherwise, keep it moving. The next time you bend into that knee, we'll lift the right knee, coming into high lunge. And again, place that block far enough forward that it won't be in your way. Bring your hands to your heart, coming to thunderbolt lunge, so stretching long from heel to head. We'll take that tap in towards the left heel. So soften into the right knee, come in, tap, and step back. Tap in, and step back. We'll do that one more time. Tap in and step back. Coming into chair pose, feet parallel, reach the hands forward, seat back. Take a breath in here, soften in one more inch. Root down, rise, lift your palms, lift your heart. Exhale, sweep back. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale back, one more time. Inhale up and exhale back. In your chair pose, settle in, deep breath in. One more inch, full breath out. Fold over your legs, big exhale. Inhale to lift halfway. And exhale to let go. Again, hanging out here, keep those knees unlocked. Spine round. If that doesn't feel good for you, keep your hands up at a halfway lift so you can lengthen your spine. If you've got low back stuff going on, I would much rather see you be right here than all folded in like that. And slowly release. Step yourself to plank. High or low. Knees, chest, chin, chaturanga to a back bend. That could be Sphinx or Cobra or upward facing dog. Glide the heart forward, shoulder blades down your back. And slowly release. Come back downward facing dog. We're going to float through one more time. So come up on those tiptoes, activate your feet, bend your knees. Take a little hop or a step forward, halfway lift. Let it all go. Root down, rise with your breath. Inhale. Hands to heart, exhale. One more time, right back up. Coming into chair pose, exhale. Take a breath here. Fold over the legs, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale, step back, plank pose, right foot, left foot. Knees, chest and chin or chaturanga, move through a flow. Upward facing dog, cobra or sphinx pose. Downward facing dog, exhale. Again, up on the tiptoes, knees bend, hop or step, forward fold, halfway lift. Let it go. Root down, rise with your breath. Inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a moment to pause here. Feel your feet on the floor. Maybe lift and spread your toes a little bit here. Rock from the balls to the heels of the feet. Begin to blink your eyes open. Release your hands and wiggle your shoulders out. I'm going to flip to the other side of the mat so you guys can see me from the front as we move through this flow. So if you still have your chair or your surface that you're working from in Barre, you can use that for this flow. Don't be afraid to use that if you're not feeling super balanced today. If you're doing okay, bring a block to the right side of your mat and step your feet into Tadasana. We'll start in a baby dancer pose with the right leg. So maybe left hand to the hip or to the heart. Start to find a focal point. Lift and spread your left toes. And begin to bring your right foot into your hand. I'm going to switch sides again. I'm sorry, I should have stayed on this side of the mat. Whew! It's Monday. Very Monday, right? Okay, so lift and spread the left toes. Bring your right foot into your right hand. Find a baby dancer pose. Squeeze the knees together. So not letting this knee splay all the way out. We want to keep the knees in line with the hips. So again, hand to the hip, hand for balance, hand to the heart. And nice stretch for this right thigh. So maybe bringing the right knee slightly back from the left. Press your foot into your hand. Roll your shoulders back. Keep this here. Keep this baby dancer. Maybe flex your foot so you can really activate those hamstrings. Keep your heel in. Bring your hands to your heart. Pause here. And we're stepping back to lunge with this back leg. So soften into the left knee, tip and step, coming into thunderbolt lunge. Spin your back heel down to the floor and rise up warrior two with the palms up. Take your gaze out over that left hand, take a breath here, reach forward and reach back, reverse the warrior. We'll do that a few more times. Reach forward and reach back. One more time, reach forward and reach back. Pause here. Take one more breath, and as you exhale, reach forward again. Reach down to the block on the outside of your left foot. Step your right foot in, a footprint, finding half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. I'm going to bring that block just slightly forward of my shoulder. Maybe peel that right arm open. And kick your right heel in towards your seat. Now you can keep it there without using your hand. If you have the option to bind, reach back with your right hand for your ankle. Now if you don't have the option to bind, you're going to be able to do all of this just by bringing your hands to the floor. So keep your heel tucked in, whether you're in the bind or whether you're in the hug, and then tip your hips towards the floor. Keep that right heel hugging into your seat. We're rising back up to baby dancer pose. So right back from where we came, right? Ooh, maybe easy, maybe not so easy. Find your balance. And then release your right foot, shake your legs out. Sorry about that, I shouldn't have switched sides. So now we're going to switch to the other side, right? So bringing the right foot onto the mat, we'll hug the left heel in towards the left seat for baby dancer. Block is on the right side of the mat this time by your right foot. All right, so lift and spread your toes. Logistics. Catch me up sometimes. So lift and spread your toes, especially on the right foot, and we'll come into baby dancer with the left leg. So soften your right knee, kick your left heel in towards your seat, find that focal point, and stand up nice and tall. Hand to heart, to hip, or out for balance. And bring your left knee either in line with the right knee or slightly behind the right knee. Keep this hug of the heel into the seat as you bring your hands to your heart. Activate those hamstrings and glutes. Begin to soften into your right knee, tip forward, and step back to that long lunge. Pause here, body is at a slight angle. Spin the left heel down, coming into warrior two, palms up. Stack your spine, head over tail. Squeeze your feet together. Reach this right hand forward like you have a tray of Mally's chocolates or something in your hand, right? And then sweep back, reverse that warrior. Exhale, sweep forward. Inhale, sweep back. One more time, exhale forward. And inhale back, pause and hold. Deep bend in the right knee. Maybe take your gaze down and back. Rise back up, reach forward again. This time we'll reach and bring hands down to the block. Left hand to the waist, step your left foot in, and begin to rise to half moon. Now here again, the block can be directly under your shoulder or slightly forward of the shoulder. Peel the heart open. Maybe you can easily kick your left heel to your seat and keep your hand on your waist. Maybe you have the option for Chakasana to bind, reaching your hand back for your left ankle. Again, whatever option you took, you're going to have the chance to come up to baby dancer pose. So begin to turn your hips square to the floor, whether you've got the bind or you're bringing your hands down. Slowly begin to rise up, coming back to where we started, baby dancer. Find your balance and slowly release. Ooh, that was a tough one for me to find my balance on that side. All right, let's come down to hands and knees in a table pose. We'll release some of that tension in the neck and shoulders with a thread the needle. So I'll turn so you guys can see me this direction here. So extend your left arm out to the left and up, threading underneath your right side. Thread the needle, resting on your left shoulder and cheek. Maybe walking the right fingertips forward or the right toes back. Soften to the earth as much as you can. Let go of as much tension as you can. Slide your right hand, your right knee back in, and wave your left arm up. Let's take the other side. Bring your left hand down, slide your right arm up, and underneath your left side. Come to thread the needle. Again, opportunity to slide those left fingers forward, left toes back, or stay in a more curled, coiled shape here, keeping your hands and knees close. Press down into your left hand and sweep your right arm up. And bring your right hand back down. Find table or downward facing dog. We'll take pigeon starting with the left leg. Extend the left leg, three-legged table or dog, and begin to bring that left knee just a little bit wider than your left pinky. Maybe your shin is parallel to the front of the mat, maybe it's not. But do what you can to balance out the hips from here. So on the tips of your fingers, squeeze your inner thighs together to bring the left or the right hip in line with the left. Find some balance. And then back toes curled or uncurled, bring yourself down for pigeon pose. Forearms to the mat, forehead to the mat or block. Take one more breath. And begin to slowly rise. Come onto your left hip and push your left foot over to the right side of the mat for iron cross. So rolling off slightly onto the left hip, push your left foot across the mat so you're sitting on the outer hip and outer left thigh. Push straight back with the right foot and begin to turn your chest forward. Nice little stretch for the side of the left waist and IT band. Draw your belly in, keep offering your heart forward. Maybe you have the bandwidth to bring your forearms down to blocks or a block. Go slow, take your time, it can be really intense. Begin to slowly rise, and we'll turn to face the direction of our feet. So we're coming right onto the booty here and just turning our toes up to the sky. Creating that L shape in the legs, or maybe slightly wider. If you have the bandwidth to come into a wider seated fold, you can do that as well. Draw the inner thighs a little closer to the floor, drawing flesh away from your seat. Walk your elbows and hands forward, but lead with the heart. Keep your toes nice and active. Heart stretches forward. Channel your cobra pose rather than your cat stretch. So keep your spine super long here. Take one more breath and begin to rise on up. I'm going to come to the other side of my mat, so I'm not facing away from you, but you can turn yourself around to the same side and come back to a downward facing dog, and we'll move from there. Take a moment to find some release here, so maybe that's in child's pose or a three-legged table or downward facing dog. From table or dog, extend your right leg high and bring your knee wider than your wrist, coming into pigeon on the second side. Adjust yourself here, come up on the tips of the fingers and squeeze your inner thighs together to bring the left waist forward in line with the right. And as you find that balance, or whatever that balance looks like for you, maybe tucking the block under your hip, you can curl or uncurl those back toes, staying really committed to your toes, and bring yourself down. Again, you can place a block underneath your forehead, forearms, and settle into your breath. Take a couple more breaths here, really letting go of some of that muscle energy. Relax. One more breath. And begin to rise up. We'll come into that iron cross, so rolling onto the right hip and extending your right foot to the left side of the mat, extending your left foot straight back. Engage your feet, roll out onto the outer right hip and thigh. Begin to turn your waist and body forward, heart forward, to the top of the mat. So perhaps you stay right here. This is my tender side, so this is a little more challenging for me. So I'm going to stay up, but you can bring your forearms down to a block or to the earth. Ease into your breath here. And if you came down to your forearms, begin to bring yourself back up, and we'll turn and face the space between our feet. Again, draw the flesh away from your seat. I'm going to bring my block along for my arms. Pin those inner thighs a little closer to the floor, and if you can go a little wider, go ahead and scoot your booty forward. Keep your toes active. Again, heart leads the way. And you can start to walk those forearms down to a block or a stack of blocks, or just stay up on your hands. Channeling your upward facing dog or your bow pose here instead Take another breath here and slowly begin to rise up. Use your hands to bend your knees, and we're coming down onto our backs now. So bring your knees in towards your chest. Find a gentle rock from side to side. Maybe some circles with your knees. Maybe circling knees opposite. Bring your feet to the earth a little wider than your hips, arms to goalpost or a T, and start to wiper your knees to the left and to the right. The next time you wiper your knees to the left, pause and hold, maybe hooking the outer left ankle on top of the outer right thigh. Begin to slowly release that outer left ankle and windshield wiper your knees to the left and to the right again. Landing on the right side now, hook your outer right ankle over your outer left thigh as an option. It's not a must-have, right? And begin to slowly release that outer right ankle. One more time, wiper to the left and to the right. And then take a pose with some symmetry. So perhaps again, knees to chest, or a happy baby pose, or a bridge pose. Bring your feet and your knees together and set yourself up for Shavasana today. So at the end of Barre, we just take a brief Shavasana to get ourselves set up for the rest of the day. We're very high energy after Barre, so it's good to kind of come down from that and give yourself an opportunity to rest and digest. If you have additional time to spend in Shavasana today, I highly recommend it. And if you're moving on with your day, begin to wiggle your fingers and toes and begin to bend your knees. Make a few last movements here, so perhaps knees to chest or a big hug, wrap in. Either rock and roll yourself up to a comfortable seat or roll to one side to press yourself up. Finding your comfortable seat, sit well and close your eyes. Draw your hands to your heart. Take a moment to bring to mind a word, a phrase, a mantra, a prayer, something to take forward with you from this moment. Thank you so much for joining us for the flow of Barre and Flow on Monday, February the 8th. And gratitude to each of you for your time and your energy and effort. Let's bow to one another as we say, Namaste. Thanks everybody, have a great week, and I hope it's sunny and happy and joyful outside wherever you are, and if it's not, you can make it that way. Love you, bye.